On Friday, Verge Ausberry was named LSU's interim athletic director with full autonomy to hire LSU's next football coach. Verge, good enough to spend a couple of minutes with us here. I know it's busy. Thank you for the time. How are you?
Doing great, Matt. Everything's going well. We just had a president, Dr. Ruth, is our new president, and we have also a chancellor of our campus now. So we have alignment. That's what we've been waiting for. From the board, you have a president, you have the chancellor provost. So we feel that we're in very, very good shape right now.
Your first time in since 2012 when they combined the president and chancellor's office. So now someone asked what a chancellor, that's basically the person that's going to run the Baton Rouge campus, the main campus where the president will run the entire system. You mentioned alignment, Verge, and I was talking about it a bit in the last hour, but it is one of those things that, a week ago it was evident with so much sort of just a void in a lot of the leadership spots. You're starting to fill those now. Maybe you can elaborate a little bit on why that is so important in this very formative part of LSU athletics.
Well, it's important to any athletic department, especially LSU. That alignment means a lot. And you have leadership. You don't have leadership. You have a lot of boys there. And it really, really hurts you. It hurts you out there going out in the market. People want to know, who they report to, who they answer to. That's very, very important in our system. And we had to make sure we get the president first. And, we didn't know they was going to split it up and put the provost chancellor position, but we had to get a president here. And Dr. Roos and I met during the interview process, and he understands how important football is and how important athletics is to LSU, the front portion of the house. So we'll be working close together. He'll be helping us, joining us, consulting with us on this football search. That's what we needed. And talking to people out there, agents and candidates and other people in the business, they were always asking, who's going to be the president? Who we report to? Who's the AD? I'm the interim AD. So you had to make them feel comfortable in what we were doing, and the board is still there, and this is the system we had. But everybody has to be in alignment. Don't have that alignment, then you're really going to have problems no matter what coach you pick. And that's something that's really important to us.
You mentioned that you spoke to Dr. Roos during the process, the interview process. What were your impressions speaking with him?
Very calm, very down to earth. Knows the business side of universities. He knows economics, no finances, and that's important for us, especially in the new age where we're going, especially in athletics, and especially as a university. Just try to make sure that we are all in the right position financially. And what we do when we hire coaches and hire people, he wants to be involved, and that's important for us. We want him to be involved. The president is not involved with what you're doing, you're really going to have some problems down the road.
You mentioned that Dr. Roos will be assisting in the search. On Friday, you mentioned 4 committee members and then a 5th who you didn't name. Is that the 5th committee? Is Dr. Roos the 5th committee member? Or is there someone else that maybe is just choosing to remain anonymous?
He'll be that consultant, yes. That's who we were waiting for, the president to be hired, and that's who we kind of wanted to have in there to make sure he helps us. He needs to be a part of it. Every football search I've been a part of, the president has been involved, president or the chancellor, depending. Back then it was a chancellor, but now the president has been involved with it in every major search. And especially the football search, that search is huge. It's $200 million to the Baton Rouge, to the LSU athletic department, and about $700 million to the Baton Rouge economy. So it means so much to this institution, the whole LSU brand, that it's important. I would like him to be a part of this process with us.
What about the new chancellor, who's coming in from Alabama, Jim Dalton? Will he have a say in the coaching search hire as well?
No. He'll be handling the research and academic part of the campus. Athletics reports directly to the president. That's how he has it set up.
Verge Ausberry is our guest. Last week, Verge, was it was a tumultuous week, I think, for everybody. We've talked about alignment, establishing some of this. What has been the response that you've gotten to the LSU job in light of everything that happened last week?
Very positive. We are moving forward. I mean, a lot of excitement about the job. A lot of our targets that we've been targeting have really good feedback about the job. So we feel that we're in a really, really good position right now, and we just have to make sure, get everybody together, start talking to people here in the process. but I think we're strong. I think we've moved forward. I think, coaches look at things a little differently. They don't get caught into the political part of it and the politics. They see what's going on. But, LSU is a job where you think you come here and win. It's a great opportunity. And coaches take it as a challenge, too. It's a great program, one of the best in the country. But, things are changing now, too, in our business. It's, with the NIL and the rev sharing and all the transfer portal, those things have changed a lot. And we have to be careful with it. We're not the NFL. In the NFL, there's alignment. NFL, you have the owner, you have the general manager, you have the players. It's vertically, like Coach Saban say. But here, it's so big. You have the agents, you have the parents. So we have to make sure that there are the right mechanisms in place to help the new coach, no matter who that new coach is. I think the days of seeing a coach win, 5, 6 national championships, that's not going to be the same, especially with the rev share. We just have to make sure that what we're doing here, the things that we have in place, the infrastructure that we have here at LSU, is good enough to support the coach. So every year, tonight the college football playoffs will come up. So every year we need to be mentioned in that. Even if you're not in the top 12 or the top 16, your name, you're right there on the brink. The month of November is a long month, and we're going to play ourselves into it. Last year, I think Ohio State was ranked 10th in the college football where they were seeded at. And they ended up, they lost their last game, but they won the national championship. They got hot at the right time. That's where we need to be at LSU. We got to always be in that mix. The Georgias, the Ohio States, those are two programs that, comparable to LSU. That's where we need to be at LSU.
Verge Ausberry is our guest. So, you mentioned Nick Saban. I'm sure you've seen Shaq and Us Weekly said, I heard through the grapevine that they were having conversations with Nick Saban. So are you or anyone affiliated with LSU having conversations with Nick Saban?
Nick Saban and I have a standing conversation probably every 2 to 3 weeks. We're good friends, first of all, and a person that I admire a lot. And Coach Saban was joking. No way he's coming back to football, okay? Miss Terry's not going to let him. So That's not going to happen. Let's get that out the way soon. Because, if he was and he was interested, I'll go drive down there and pick him up right now and bring him back.
Okay, wait. So, Verge, you're saying no shot?
I think that is run its course, okay?
Okay.
But, he works for ESPN now, and he does consulting with people and talk to people. You get to see things out there. And he gets to tell you about different coaches he see and observe. So I ask him questions about what it takes to coach the LSU job. And I always ask him that. And times have changed since the time he's been here. He didn't have all the different things that we have now. That's why he kept saying about the infrastructure, what we have here, what we have set up here. You don't win just because you're LSU. You have to win because you're doing the right things and the right things in place, the right mechanisms, the right infrastructure. I keep hitting on those words because that's what's important, the right people in the system. And then the coach has to be the one to have the right fit when he's here. Does he fit with the players? Does he fit with the culture down here? At LSU, we have many constituents. You have faculty, you have staff, you have students, you have alumni, you have boosters, you have donors, you have NIL donors, you have corporate sponsors, you have 340-some organizations on this campus. So you have to fit some kind of way in all of that, not including the Baton Rouge and Louisiana community. So that coach has to be the right fit for this program. All these coaches could coach X's and O's. They could draw it up. They could call plays. They could do all of that. But are they the right fit for the institution? And are they the right fit at LSU?
Is head coaching experience you said you want to hire the best coach. You said that on Friday. Is head coaching experience a prerequisite for the next hire?
In our process right now, Matt, we're wide open, but we would like someone to have head coaching experience. Even if he's not a head coach now, have the experience. LSU, like I said, it's a hard job. It's a 2-hand on 18-wheeler job. You take your eyes off the road, you take your hands off the wheel, you'll flip it over. So it's something about managing people. You're managing over 140 people in that building, the head football coach at LSU, not including all the players, 135 players. So you're running a mini organization. My job is I run the corporation as athletic director, but there's many small corporations underneath you. And football is one of them. But football is a major corporation underneath you because bottom line, it's 89 and 90% of our budget. And that's why it's so important because it funds everything we do in athletics. And that's why we have hiccups, we have bumps and bruises. But we got to come out of it. And that's why football is so important.
You prefer head coaching experience, but not a prerequisite, if I understand correctly. Okay.
Correct. Correct.
Is there, in Verge, this is the really complicated one. You've touched on it a little bit just with like the alignment and how to build a team today, but the timeline is so complex because of the December signing periods, December the 3rd, and then the January portal period. What is the timeline for hiring the next coach?
We're trying to get that. We don't have an actual timeline. We are aware of those dates. December 3rd is the signing date. I think Frank Wilson has done a great job of holding this together and putting us in the right position. We haven't lost any kid on our team yet, talking about getting in the portal or leaving or transferring. And we hadn't lost anybody, any recruits yet in one of the top recruiting classes. So, that signing date, December 3rd, is coming up quickly. We hopefully be around that time, know kind of what direction we're going and who we have. And the next part is the portal from January 2nd to the 16th. So that's things that we're staying focused on and paying a lot of attention to, but that will play a part of this coaching hire.
So in theory, like if there were a coach, again, this is hypothetical, if there were a coach who made the playoffs and was coaching beyond January 1st, that wouldn't necessarily eliminate them from consideration?
No, it would not.
Okay. Verge, there's one other thing. You mentioned a bit ago all the searches that you've been on, and I don't know that I was hoping you could shed some light on this because, I mean, you and I think, if I'm doing this correctly, like 4 football coaching searches and 3 different men's basketball searches. I mean, you've been on like dozens of these committees over the years selecting coaches for LSU in all different sports. Football, the revenue generating, the non-revenue sports. Can you kind of shed some light just on the formatics of like what you're doing now for the audience to understand? Like, are you talking to agents? Is this like a 24/7 thing? Is it slow now? It picks up later? Like, how does this whole process work? I mean, if you can elaborate to whatever degree you can.
You're making calls 24/7. You pick up your phone every chance you get. There's agents calling, there's representative of coaches calling, and you're just trying to talk to them to gauge their interest. Where are they? A lot of times they want to talk to me personally to get that feel about who I'm going to be working for. Is Verge Ausberry going to be the AD, the interim AD? We don't know. But they want to know who they're talking to and who they're communicating with, and the agent wants to know that. They're not going to put their clients out there, and there's no person they can report to. So that's the important part of this here, and that's what we're trying to make people feel comfortable with, in the position I'm in, and those opportunities will come later. But right now, we want to hire the right person, and that's why it's so important to hire the president. But it's a long process, and we start the process. Matt, we start this process. When you hire a coach, you automatically start looking for your next coach. And you hope your coach stays here 20 years. But you have to make sure that you're doing what's right, because you never know what could happen in our business. And you watch a lot of football, you watch a lot of sporting events and say, you know what? It's like, that guy's a great coach. He does some great things. They win. But you also have to make sure to look at it and say, is that coach a great fit for us here? And I think that's what we have to do our due diligence on and make sure that we're looking at that a little deeper.
So who do you think is a great coach and a great fit?
There's a lot of people. That's a long list.
You can't blame me for asking.
No, you can ask, but no, a person that relates to the players, a person that have a presence in our state in Louisiana, a person that understands what we do here in Louisiana and how much it means to the people in Louisiana. But also for the young men who play for him to have fun, graduate, be better people. And have relationships with them, building relationships. That's the good fit. That's all. Could he relate to the players? Could he communicate with the players? We know all the guys on our list are great football coaches, but how do they fit in here with what we do?
Can I see your list?
No, I don't have one.
One more thing, Verge, before you go. Scott Ballard said on Friday that you have the full authority to make the head coaching hire. You mentioned Dr. Roos will now be part of the search. Just formatically, would the president have to approve whatever hire you make?
The president's always approve. The president of the board, they have to approve. They have to approve the contracts, those type of things. But we'll be on the same team. We'll look at all the people out there and all the people we're talking to. And I think he trusts me right now. I talked to Dr. Roos about this, where we are kind of in the process, who we're looking at, our target. And he was happy with that. So we'll definitely be talking to him, and I definitely want him to be a part of this, he has to be a part of it. But this here is bigger than just the athletic department. It's the whole LSU brand.
Busy time, I know. Thanks for taking a few minutes to join us today. We'll be in touch.
No, man, Matt. Thank you so much.
That is LSU Athletic Director Verge Ausberry joining us for a couple of minutes here on this Tuesday. First interview Verge has done since Friday when he was named the interim AD. We do appreciate his time. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact. And be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.